eagles fly. Let's peep the squad. Big Pat Shell and Dante the Dark Child. Drop the stats on them, drop the facts on them. Spur King, baby, let's get it on.
Hey, fam, it's your man Dante the Dark Knight along with my co-host, the Pote. Or Poti? Pat, what's up going on, yo? Welcome. Training camp edition. Hey, look, we lost a joint practice. We lost our first joint practice. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about what else is going on in training camp. We'll talk about the upcoming preseason opponent, the Miami Dolphins. We'll also talk about an article where they put out a preseason power ranking and see where our Eagles stack up in that. Pat has his opinions about these type of things. We'll talk about some of the training camp surprises that has been that's taken place in this training camp here, this preseason. I don't think we'll see these guys on Saturday. I don't think we'll see the starters, so we'll have to go off of the report that we got during their only joint practice, because they had to call today's practice off because of a stomach virus that's going around in the Miami locker room. Thank God it hasn't. The bug didn't bite us, but it did bite them, and they whipped up on us, so I guess they get the win there. We don't even have the opportunity to avenge our first joint practice loss there, as reported by Elliott Shore-Parks, although a lot of reporters reported that we did not win that joint practice. So what's going on, guys? I'm glad to be back here. Time is getting closer. I mean, it's getting closer to the season. It's about to go down.
Yes, it
is. We're about to face the Detroit Lions in the first game of the season, and it's fast approaching. What's going on, Pat?
I'm good, man. I'm happy to be back on here with you. I know Michelle's away for a bit, but I'm happy to be back on here with you guys. I haven't been on here since in a while.
Yeah, you have not. You guys all abandoned me. The last time we were on, I was solo. Nichelle, a happy birthday, belated birthday to her. She was celebrating her birthday this weekend actually, and we wish her a happy birthday. All you guys have poured out love on the Eagles Talk group page. We appreciate that, and she's probably still celebrating. I don't know. She might pop her head in there tonight. I don't know, but she deserves it. Happy birthday to her. Hey guys, you know what we do here on Eagles, right? We're the number one Eagles coverage show out there that's by us, for us. Yeah, by Eagles fans, for Eagles fans. And here on Eagles Talk, we like to talk about our favorite football team, the Philadelphia Eagles, and we like to do so in such a relaxed manner that we enjoy our favorite adult beverage in the form of shots. Now, we ask that you join us, participate, but do it responsibly and safely. This week, I'm not drinking. I'm on my sober time. So I'm not partaking. Pat, you're going to have to do it for us. I'm going to be drinking my water and my energy drink. That's about it. That's all I'm doing. But Pat, you hold it down for us because you're the Pody. Pody has to hold it down.
I'm drinking my famous Jack Daniels Tennessee whiskey right now. I got my partner here, Keith. He's drinking some whiskey also. And
all right,
Stephanie's
so
in the back
Keith could take my shot then. Keith,
yeah, he definitely want to take that shot.
All right. I have a guest shot taker. All right, he's going to take the shot for me. So everybody, get your shot glasses ready. Let me know what you're drinking out there as we begin this conversation about our Philadelphia Eagles. So everyone, lift your glass to our Philadelphia Eagles and down the hatch. 3, 2, 1.
You're now listening to the
All right, so a little bit of training camp news as reported by Dave Zangaro today. First of all, let's go over who was not in practice today, because that's probably important, right? So who did not practice today was Derek Barnett, Sean Bradley, A.J. Brown. Derek Barnett, ribs. They list ribs as his reason. Yeah. Sean Bradley, he has an illness. A.J. Brown, they just gave a rest day. They gave him a rest day. Andre Chachir, groin. Landon Dickerson, rest day for him. Kristen Ellis out for a hamstring. Javon Hargrave, toe. Josh Joby, elbow. Jason Kelsey still out for his elbow. Miles Sanders, hamstring, which they report is not serious. He will be available for week 1 against the Detroit Lions, And Hosea Scott, hamstring. Greg Ward, toe. All right, so
Greg
those
Ward,
are the people.
Listen, listen. That elbow and that toe, you better get your butt out there. You're not locked to make this roster. You better get out there.
Well, he's I don't know. Is he in threat of not making it? What
Greg
do you think?
Ward, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is it threat of not making it?
Listen, these guys that have been playing their butts off, Deion Kane may make the team. Brandon Covey that we talked about early in the year, who just got a messed up thumb, he may make the team. Devin Allen, who showed up this past weekend, even though it is one big chunk play. I'm not gonna get excited about one big chunk play. I need to see more of that, and that's the first big chunk play he had all preseason. But Deion Kane has been somebody who's been performing in practice and out of practice, in game. So he might get the opportunity to be that fifth receiver, especially if he plays special teams, So Greg Ward is not locked to make this team. I'll tell you that right now.
Wow, that's incredible. I haven't heard a lot about him in training camp, so I guess that would support what you're saying there. And Kane had an outstanding game last game. Didn't know who he was until saw him last Saturday. I'm like, oh, this guy's making some big catches, contested catches too. Very impressive for a young receiver such as himself. Those camp favorites of years past, or my camp favorites anyway, like John Hightower, I don't know. I don't think he makes it now. I don't think he makes it.
So the thing about it, John Hightower is not making this club. I'm sorry. He's not making. In all seriousness, I wish he would make the club because him and Quez Watkins did hold us down when they first came in as rookies. But I don't see him making the team. Maybe a practice squad guy, maybe. But there are some rumors going around. I know everybody hearing about the rumors about Jalen Reagor, but something just popped up in my news feed about Denzel Mims, wide receiver for the Jets. We need to unload of Jalen Reagor. We already got rid of JJ Arthur-Whiteside. He's on to greener grass on the other side in Seattle. It's time to admit to this mistake and move on and get another receiver or get somebody else that can help us on the defensive front.
Yeah, I agree with that. So another first, along with us losing our first joint practice against Miami, is that Jalen Hurts threw interceptions today. He hadn't thrown interceptions in practice for a long time, but they said today on 11s that he threw 2 picks today. Yeah. I don't know how much weight you can give to that, but I guess it's a good thing. Only because it's been such a long stretch between him throwing interceptions at practice, which is a good thing. So the length of time that he did not throw an interception is more of what I'm focusing on, but he did throw 2 today. So his streak is over. If you heard
get it out your system now. Get it out your system now.
Yeah, get it out now. And according to Nick Sirianni, he had his best practice as an Eagle under Nick Sirianni yesterday in the joint practice, which we lost. I wasn't there, but if we lost the joint practice, how could that be the best practice he's ever had? Well, he did explain it. He said that his reads, him going through his progressions and the decision making was the best he's seen by Jalen Hurts. It seemed that the game has slowed down for Jalen to the point where he is going through his progressions. He's feeling more comfortable, and he's making those reads a lot quicker. So to Nick Sirianni, that is the progress that he wants to see from Jalen, and he's seen that yesterday, and he's happy with that progress. So I just hope that it carries on into the regular season, because in all probability, we're not going to see these guys until the first week of the regular season. If history holds true, we're probably not going to see the first string at all Saturday. I'd be surprised. So the next time we see these guys will be against Detroit. And we just hope and pray that they are ready, because we can ill afford to start off the season slow with the schedule we have. I mean, it's almost a layup. These first 4 games can really jumpstart us having a very successful year if we can play up to our potential. Let me go to our third co-host, and that's you guys in the room there. If you know anything about Eagles Talk, we like to include you guys in the conversation with us. So I'm going to recognize the first person in the room tonight, and that is Dion Jones. And Dion says, yo, what's up, Dion? JT is second in the house. He says, yo, fly, Eagles, fly. Tony Burren, our resident from down under in Australia. Yo, Bird fam, it's getting closer. Yes, it is, Tony. It is getting closer. We're just a few weeks away. Richard Boo, what's up, Eagles fam? What's up, Richard?
What's going
Brandon
on?
Tillery is in the house. Much love, family. Who that? From NOLA. Michael McMillan says, fly, Eagles, fly. Welcome, everybody. Thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight. I'll see what you guys are saying. Dion is talking about Madden. He says, Madden 25 has us as the second best team behind the Bucks. Let's go. Oh, that's a great segue, right? And I should bring up
Yeah,
Pat doesn't like that. But let's
yeah. Go ahead.
there's a preseason power rankings. Now, this was comprised by the NBC Sports Philadelphia staff. So these are Philadelphia sports writing staff for NBC Sports. But in their preseason power rankings, they have our Philadelphia Eagles in the top 10. They have us listed as number 9. And just to go over the top 10 very quickly, they have Baltimore, the Ravens is number 10. They have us number 9. San Fran is 8. Cincinnati, who was in the Super Bowl this past year, 7. Los Angeles Chargers, they have at number 6. The Green Bay Packers with Aaron Rodgers minus Devontae Adams, they still have them ranked at number 5. The Tampa Bay Bucks with Tom Brady returning this year after initially retiring. He returned, and they have him ranked number 4. Number 3, they have the Buffalo Bills. Number 2, the defending Super Bowl champs, the Rams. And at number 1, they have the Kansas City Chiefs. How does that ranking make you feel about the Philadelphia Eagles? I know we are optimistic about what they've done in the offseason, but Pat, what do you think about the ranking and this whole everybody being very bullish on us?
I'm going to be honest with you. We haven't improved a doggone thing. We got all these analysts talking about how good our roster looks, how good we're going to be. We're going to run away with the East this year. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. But at the end of the day, these guys still have to play the game. All right? If you want to go back to history, the Detroit Lions that went 0-16, right?
Right.
Their preseason, they was 4-0. They was projected to be the best team in the NFC. There's 4-0. They went 0-16 during the season. What are we doing, people? Who was the?
We don't judge the preseason. I don't need it anyway. I never go
number
over.
5.
Yeah, I never.
How you had the Packers number 5 when they lost their 1-2 punch? They got a bunch of rookie receivers and guys that Aaron Rodgers actually got mad about because they was dropping the ball, and you got them ranked number 5. How you don't have Baltimore ahead of us right now? I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm kind of uneasy that we're a favorite of everybody. You know, on Madden, we're number 2 roster. Like, that makes absolutely no sense.
Well, we're going to continue this conversation and hear what the people have to say in the chat room. But that's the end of the first quarter.
And that's the end of the quarter.
All right, you are listening to Eagles Talk, the most unique Eagles coverage show out there that's by us fans for us fans. And if you know anything about us, we like to talk about the Eagles we wouldn't have a show if we didn't, right? But we like to talk about the Eagles, and we like to do it in such a relaxed manner that we chill and we enjoy our favorite adult beverage in the form of shots. So join us as we do that right now. I'm out. I'm doing my sober thing right now, but Pat is holding it down and has a guest shot taker over there in the background that's doing my shots for me. So let me know what you're doing out there. And as always, please drink responsibly. All right, as we raise our glass to our Philadelphia Eagles, down the hatch, 3, 2, 1.
You're now listening to the second quarter.
All right, some comments out there. Gregory Barr McBride, he says Orangeburg is in the house. I left that on the screen because we come from down that way. Our family hails from a little town just down the road from Orangeburg, Bowman, and you're very close to where our family originates from. Gregory, that's what's up. Christopher Burton he saw Gregory's and says South Carolina is representing because that is in South Carolina. Yes. Sean is giving me props for the glasses. Yes. Got the new Tom Fords. Yeah, had to get something a little bit more conservative, So thank you for that. I like that compliment. Christopher Burton says Pat was in the loo chilling with water buffaloes.
Yes, I was. Yes, I was. I gotta tell you this. I don't no disrespect to St. Louis, but the arch is nice and the barbecue is good.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, the barbecue is pretty good. I went to Sugar Fire.
Okay.
And they had some great brisket. I had to say that. I mean, listen, I haven't had brisket like that in a long time.
Oh, that's good. You should have brought some back. Oh man,
It wasn't coming back on. I'm gonna pass my fork.
He said, "I got on the new glasses now. I can't drink." Yes, I'm too civilized. I'm only kidding. No,
Chris,
I'll
pass
be
the Grey
back.
Poupon, please.
All right, Toby says he thinks Kane has a shot. Yeah, Kane's doing he did work. I'm gonna tell you, he did work.
I mean, at 6'2", he will be the bigger receiver for his receiving core, and the way he goes up for these contested passes is what we always ask out of JJ Arthur-Whiteside. We want to because his highlight, JJ's highlight film from college was him being a jump ball type of receiver who can go get the ball over these smaller corners, but he can't do that. So Deion Kane is actually taking that adage and saying, you know what, I'm going to be the guy for the jump ball. Give me this, give me that. He had 66 total receiving yards off of 7 catches last week. So, he looked good doing it. It's a different things where it just happened by mistake. He actually looked good doing it, and with contested catches. We need that.
Yeah, we do need that. Fred is saying Hurts is looking great, and I'm riding with my guy all the way. We can't stress enough how much we think that a lot of our success is going to hinge on his growth as a quarterback and him playing for his next contract, basically, and for the role of franchise quarterback. We're still not sold, but this year will be very telling on the future of Jalen Hurts and the future of this team here this year. It's going to depend upon how he performs, and as always, what's tied to that is the play calling that he's going to have to execute out there. So it's going to be on his shoulders and Steichen and Nick Sirianni's shoulders to give him good plays to run and get back to, I say, using that run game as the strength of this offense. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I've seen them come out and be pass heavy. So I don't know if they're going to open up and try to air it out, or are they going to go back and lean on the strength of what I think this offense is, and that's running the ball and let the pass develop off of that. That would be my strategy, but I'm not sitting in that seat. So
yeah, I totally agree with you. But you know what I feel the offense that we've seen this preseason is not actually the offense we're going to run this season. I think the offense that they're running is just a facade of what offense they're preparing to run for the season. I think it may be a 50-50 mix, which would be great for us because you know what? We have an offensive line that, if when healthy, they're on the top tier of the NFL. You know, they're in the top two. Let's put it that way. When healthy. Now, the crazy thing about it is this kid, Jurgen, he looked like a clone of freaking Kelsey.
Oh, definitely.
Yo, he like a clone of freaking Jason Kelsey. So I mean, our depth on our offensive line is definitely going to help us during the season. With Dillard, actually playing up to expectations now as a swing tackle with Cam Jurgens and be able to be inserted into that center position anytime that Jason Kelsey may go down or something like that, and us not being worried about the snap not getting to the quarterback. We got a legit backup center now. I'm kind of happy for that position now because I really didn't want them to pick this guy. I wanted the receiver Pickens that went to George Pickens that went to Pittsburgh
Pittsburgh,
Steelers.
yeah.
I wanted him bad, but this kid, if he turns out to be the second coming of Jason Kelsey, I'm cool with that.
Yeah, I am too. I didn't talk about it here, but I was a little worried going into the first preseason game, knowing that Jason Kelsey was not going to be there. But Cam Jurgens has squashed all doubts I had about him being a rookie and taking Jason Kelsey's place. He has really shined in his time with the first team. I mean, both games, he does look like a Jason Kelsey clone. He's getting out there. He's mushing people. He's a brawler. I mean, he's athletic and he's physical, man. And this guy, he's been a very bright spot in this training camp. And let me get to some more. That brings me to some other surprises in camp. Now, this is
I got to beat this one out real quick. Toby Cooper, one of the newer comments, said yes, but bigger and faster than Kelsey. Kelsey is actually faster than Jurgens, just let you know. Even though Jurgens might be bigger than him, Kelsey is faster at 4.8. Jurgens is 4.9.
Oh, okay.
Gotta throw that out there.
Well, he looked just as fast as him.
man,
I mean, the way he was getting out there pulling and mauling people when he got out there too. He wasn't getting in space and not making an impact. He definitely was laying the wood when he got out there, pancaking and everything.
Yes.
So, getting back to this, some of the people that have shined, and this is via Ruben Frank here, and is Cam Jurgens is on that list. Another person is on that list is Zach Pascal is on that list. Mm-hmm. Now, he's missed some time because he had that food poisoning, but since he's been back, he has been dynamic. He's flashed in these training camp practices, and he is what I expected when they signed him. Knowing what he did in Indianapolis, I thought that he would be pushing for that third wide receiver spot. And if he doesn't get it, it's even better because if he's the fourth wide receiver, I think we're in pretty good hands. I think our third and fourth wide receiver are talented now.
Yeah.
Like last year was Rager, and that left a lot to be desired. So now I think we have an appropriate upgrade with Quez or Pascal being wide receiver 3 and wide receiver 4. But he's been a surprise at training camp, according to Ruben Frank. Another person whose name is on this list is Jack Stoll, the tight end. They said he's been playing a big part in these practices, and he has flashed as probably winning. He might win the second tight end spot. Never know. This guy is.
I mean, he's working his butt off. Let's be honest. These unknown names. You just said Jack Stoll. I think he's a kid out of Wisconsin, right? Nebraska. I'm sorry, he came out of Nebraska. So normally, when you look at these tight ends that come from Wisconsin, Nebraska, Iowa, do you know these guys' names?
Right.
No, you don't know them until they come into the league. Go look at the tight end from San Fran. He's from Iowa.
Right.
Look at it. Look at some of the best tight ends right now in the football. There was from Wisconsin. They're from up the Midwest area region where they, all they do is have cornfields and cows and stuff, and all they do is over there make beef jerky. Look at Cam Jerkins.
Yeah. He
So I,
has a company. He has actually a jerky company. So yeah.
how about that? So
He
I do
does
like
make-
Stahl. I do like Stahl. He last year he did do some nice things. He was able to get open with his agility and his ability to mirror a Zach Ertz type of tight end. He's a smaller guy though, but he has picked up that blocking edge better than Zach Ertz has. So he's not a big guy like Zach Ertz, like 6'5" guy, but he blocks pretty darn good for his size.
Yeah, and they said he's really worked on his pass receiving skills because he was an excellent blocker as a tight end. But they said he's worked on his pass receiving skills, and that should bode well because the Eagles like to run a lot of 12 personnel. So that second tight end means a lot to what they like to run here. Wow, these quarters are really moving.
I mean, when you're having fun,
I know, right?
Time has no limit.
I know, doesn't it?
I mean,
all right, that's the end of the second quarter, man. I'm gonna continue with this list in the third quarter, but that's the end of the second quarter. Let's end that quarter, Pat.
And that's the end of the quarter.
All right, so you're watching and listening to Eagles Talk, the most unique Eagles coverage show out there, where we like to, enjoy ourselves with libations as we talk about our favorite football team, the Philadelphia Eagles, and we're doing that now. So it's a party going on, and we're having good conversation. We can't wait for this season to begin, and it's about to begin, man. I am so chomping at the bit to see a real game because I go into these preseason games with all I want to see is the starters, and I'm disappointed most times because I can't see them. So I'm really chomping at the bit to see this team play games for real, and I get to see my starters the whole game instead of just hoping to see them. And then when I see them for a series or so. So I'm geeked. And then we have an improved roster. Everybody's high on us. I do agree with you, Pat, and with the others that say we play better from behind. So I'm not feeding into that. I think the last time somebody mentioned Michael Irvin and what he said about us, and I dismissed it. I said, I'm not falling for the banana in the tailpipe. You just worry. You let him worry about the Cowboys. We'll worry about the Eagles. My head is not big because he complimented our team. Like you said, Pat, they haven't played it down yet. So let us worry about the Eagles, Michael Irvin. All right, so here we go. All right, Pat, you're doing the what, Jack Daniels, right?
Yes, sir. Jack Daniels.
Daniels.
I found my Uncle Nearest too.
Oh, he found his Uncle Nearest.
They had it in the Lou. They had it in St. Louis.
Oh, they had it in St. Louis. Let me know what you're drinking out there, and as always, please drink responsibly. So here we are. Third quarter begins. To our Philadelphia Eagles down the hatch. 3, 2, 1.
You're now listening to the third quarter.
All right, another name on that list. And you guys, as we go over the list of Reuben Frank's surprises in training camp, let me know who you think was a surprise of this training camp, somebody that you were happy to hear that is doing well in training camp that you might not have expected to do well.
I'll tell you right now, mine.
Here's one right here. The Reuben Frank also has Andre Dillard on that list.
Oh, yes.
He said he's been playing very well also in training camp, and the talk on Sports Talk in Philadelphia has been a possible package him and send him to the Cowboys since they lost their starting left tackle, I'm sorry, and it's going to be a while before he gets back, and now their offensive line is decimated by injuries. So I say no, let's not do that because
we don't help rivals out.
Yeah, don't help them out. I mean, come on. I mean, if they offer us a 1 or 2, I guess we're going to have to really listen.
I would not even take a phone. I would see Jerry Jones. Nope.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. Dillard, yeah, but that's what Tyrone agrees with Reuben Franks. He says Dillard is one of his surprises.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, we drafted Dillard with the auspice for him to be the starting left tackle going in the future after Jason Peters' career was done. Even though Jason Peters is still looking for a team, Andre Dillard is still a serviceable tackle. And
Mm-hmm.
once he got it between, the areas of his ability, he has the physical body to be a very serviceable tackle in this league. Once he got it between his areas, that get my technique better, do this, do that better. He could be a very good serviceable tackle. I think he got it now, whereas though he understands that right now with the Philadelphia Eagles, he's a swing tackle, and he has to be the best swing tackle there is.
How
Remember,
can you can't be a swing tackle when you can only play one tackle position?
but you know what? I think
You
he got
got
it between
to
his
be a
ears.
swing. You
I
got to
think he
be
got
able to
it.
swing to the other side.
I think he got to be in between the areas. Say, you know what? I got to be able to do both sides. I think he heard you talk about that, whereas though say,
Yeah,
you got to be able to play the right side and the left side and be efficient on both sides. I think he said went back and saw some tape of Big V. Remember Big V, right?
yeah, Big
Big
V.
V came in. He was our swing tackle in that Super Bowl year, right? He was our
Yeah,
swing tackle. He did some outstanding things. As a starting tackle, he left a lot to be desired. But you know what? By him finally getting his position to understand what it is to be a swing tackle, when he was inserted into the offense as a starting tackle, he played efficiently at that left tackle position. That's
yeah,
all
I
we
agree
ask
with
for
that.
Dillard. That's all we ask for Dillard is just be efficient when you're called on. When you're called on to come in a game and just block your guy. Don't do nothing out of the extraordinary. Don't try to be a superstar left tackle, superstar right tackle. We got those guys. Malata, Johnson, Lane Johnson, they are superstar tackles. All right.
Yeah, I agree with that.
When we need that third, fourth tight end, and we need a big set, you come in there and be that big set. Pause.
And that's another reason why I don't want to get rid of him. Also, because I think he getting rid of Dillard would weaken our depth along the
Correct.
offensive line, and we don't know when we may need that depth. You just mentioned Big V from that Super Bowl year, and he was magnificent in replacing the future Hall of Famer Jason Peters. He went down, and
Yeah.
we don't win the Super Bowl without those backups coming in and playing big as they did, and Big V was one of those. So if we're serious about being improved and making a deeper playoff run, we're going to need that depth. So I say keep Dillard and screw the Cowboys. Don't give them anybody.
Correct.
Don't help them out. don't.
Right.
And they're the competition. Let me see. Dion says preseason is forever changed. It's garbage, but I'll take less injuries, but miss the days when starters played more each game until final game. That's when they sat fully. Yes, I know it is. It's not that anymore, and just wrapping my head around it, it is garbage. It's changed how preseason means less than it meant before. I mean, we used to at least have a schedule of how much we would see the starters. Maybe a series or two in the first game, a little more in the second game. The third game, you might play a half, and then the fourth game they didn't play. Well, now we only have three games, and we barely see them. At least our coaching staff and the philosophy that they have is we barely see them in the preseason. The first or the most extensive look of the starters we get is once the season starts, and I miss that. I miss being able to see them in the preseason. But that is the way of the new NFL now. They don't practice. They don't, they treat the guys like fine china. They don't take them out the China cabinet
Wait a
until
minute. Wait a minute.
they treat them
You
like
saw Hard
fine
Knocks.
china.
You saw Hard Knocks. They over there hitting. They hit once in a while.
Yeah, once in a while. But see, and that's what, this is that new culture. Now we're getting used to, no, they hit. No, now take that film and compare it to 20 years ago, and then tell me, do you think that is hitting compared to Buddy Ryan's camps, compared to even Andy Reid's camps, two-a-days when you smashing the hell out of each other, both practices. You know what I'm saying? Like
Their training camp doesn't even compare to my high school training camp.
Uh-huh.
We had 2 days in high school. I mean, so I understand that that doesn't. It's a new football being played right now, and yes, we do need to adapt as a team and as a fan base. If this practicing how we are practicing is keeping us healthy, I'm all for it. If we're able to go out there and play at full speed on the first, second, and third, and fourth game, and as long as we stay and we are healthy, I'm all for it. Because you got to realize with Doug Peterson, this team was the most injured team in Eagles history, right? Andy
Yeah.
Reid, I still remember this. Andy Reid had these physical practices, and every year an important guy would go down. Every year, Jamal Jackson went down, made room for Honey Buns.
Yeah.
Hank Frankly. So, these guys go down. Yes, they make room for other guys to come on the team, but you need those particular players at those particular times. Like, let's be honest. Like, we don't want AJ Brown to get injured right now, right?
Yeah. Right.
We can't afford for him to get injured. And
No.
yes, Miles Sanders has been out with this hamstring, but they did the same thing with Devontae Smith. Right? They made sure he was fully healthy. Not only did he come back with a vengeance, he able to cut full speed and embarrass defensive backs from other teams right now. That's what we need. Week one, it's a healthy team, a full speed team to go out there and play some freaking Philadelphia Eagles football.
Well, my fear is that they will be using the first month of the season to actually get acclimated to the physicality of playing a real game because their exposure to physical practices has been limited because of this new approach. And although they come into the season very healthy, are they combat ready? That's what I worry because if I look at last year, 2-5 was a very slow start, and I don't think that we give enough blame for that to the fact that they don't have they're trying to preserve players during the preseason. So that first month of the season, I think they're actually getting acclimated to the physicality of a regular season game. And that is what caused the slow start. Now, with that in mind, I think we can ill afford to have that type of start this year with the layup of a schedule we've been given. We need to take full advantage of that. So we can ill afford to come out and have a 2-5 start with this schedule here. I mean, three of our first 4 games involve some horrible teams. I mean, come on. We got Detroit. We got the Jaguars.
I think
And the
Detroit's gonna turn
Commanders
around,
are
man.
not that great.
I really think Detroit's going to turn around. Not the first game. I think they're going to be doggone tired of the way they're practicing. What I'm seeing on
So you're telling me you're worried about them? I mean,
no,
all right,
not at
okay,
all.
that's what I'm trying to say. I'm saying
Detroit doesn't scare me as much as people talking about how they look on what's that show on HBO, um uh whatever the show's called. I forget right now. But the thing about it is that doesn't scare me because when you put talent against talent, right, the better talent always comes on top, right? Especially if that talent works hard at what they do. So all I'm saying is that we got talented guys at each position. As long as they're working their butts off in practice and in the classroom to make sure their mental is ready for hard knocks areas. As long as
yeah,
their mental is ready for the actual game, you know, that trumps what they're doing over there in Detroit. They get hit till the cows come home. They could be,
yeah.
you know what, I got a hammerhead. But if this team is more talented than they are, and they work their butt off to be more talented than they are, at the end of the day, talent trumps that. All right.
Yeah,
Now,
but
one thing talent doesn't trump though is a team that does not individual does not work hard as that other individual, right? Kobe, well, not Kobe Bryant said. Somebody else said it. Said, you know what? A hardworking individual will always be a talented individual because a hardworking individual will do whatever it takes to win the freaking game. A talented individual will always try to rear back on his talent. So if we just go into the game and say we're more superior than the Lions, then yeah, I'm worried. But
yeah, as you should be.
I think right now we're going to go into the talent into that first game with the mentality that Jalen Hurts has and say, you know what, we worked hard, worked our butts off. Yeah, we didn't hit like y'all hit, but you know what? We are the more talented team, and we're the more hardworking team than you are, and we're gonna come out here and bust your ass. That's what I think.
Well, I hope so. All right, Robin says, okay, we discussed the offense and the O line. Let's let's talk about this much improved defense. All right, I'm with
Kazir
that.
White. That's all I gotta say.
All
Kazir
right, and
White.
Brian, well, that's good because Brian is asking, what's the word on Kazir White? I haven't personally heard much about him, but I haven't been paying enough attention this year. Good ad. I know there was a
Great
lot of
ad.
hype when we first picked him up, and he saw the clip of the INT versus the Brown in practice, but that's all. Well, I actually had an INT in the first preseason game against the who did we play then?
Browns.
The the Browns.
No, that
Yeah,
wasn't the Browns. It was the Jets. My bad.
the
Jets.
Jets, yeah, the Jets. So yeah, against the Jets, first team defense looked good. The first team offense looked great. And what looked good about the first team defense is Kazir White read the quarterback and intercepted the ball, gave us a turnover. Something I'm looking forward to
Yes.
seeing more of this year. We need turnovers. We need our defense to be aggressive. Talked about last year being a top 10 defense, but that was according to the numbers. The eye test didn't look like a top 10 defense. The numbers say we were, so we have to go by the numbers. But when you looked at our defense, there was nothing scary about it. We had the second fewest sacks in the league. We didn't have a lot of turnovers. It didn't feel like a top 10 defense. So I'm looking forward to what Jonathan Gannon has in store for this new personnel he's been given. Now I don't think he has any excuse of not running what he wants to run. I think he has the personnel to run the type of defense that he wants to run. And I'm just praying and hoping that it's in a more aggressive style than what we've seen. We saw that lay back, lay off the wide receivers because one of his analytical or one of the matrix that he deems importance for his defense is not giving up explosive plays. And his defense doesn't give up many explosive plays because they give up everything underneath. They don't let people get behind them, but they give up everything in front of them. And the great quarterbacks complete 80% of the passes because they just take what you give them. So we have seen multiple quarterbacks last year have 80% completion rate, and I
think
don't want
it's
to
going to
see any
happen
more of
again.
that. All
I
right,
don't think.
I don't want to see any more of that.
I think the dynamic between T.J. Edwards and Kazir White is going to be something that we haven't seen in a very long time. The speed between those two guys, the ability to be cerebral with T.J. Edwards getting to the ball carrier, the speed that Kazir White has going towards the ball carrier, it's going to complement each other. In the way that I hope, and I got my fingers crossed that Jonathan Gannon can implore this defense with the guys that you have playing these positions at linebacker. Listen, we haven't had a linebacker crew that we looked up to like this in a very long time. Let's be honest. It was Clyde Simmons. It was Keith Johnson. Keith Jones. Keith Jackson. Seth Joyner. Like, we don't remember these guys. Like, Jeremiah Trotter. We don't. These guys are gone now. They can't even play in this league today, right?
Right.
I, as much as we talk about Seth Joyner and how he would forearm shiver somebody, we got tight ends that he could not cover right now, right?
Yeah.
Right
Yeah.
now, at this point of the game, we have linebackers, even though some of them might be undersized. We got linebackers that can get after the ball, get to the ball carrier, get after these pass catchers. I mean, that first interception from Kazir White, he was 2 yards. I wish I was on for that show, the next show. He was like 3 yards away from the receiver when he read the eyes of the quarterback and broke on it like a defensive back and made that interception. I mean, we haven't had that ability. And I'm not even talking about the guys that we have right now. Davion Taylor is going to be a backup. Last year, we was depending on him to be a good stud linebacker, right? Sean Bradley, we was depending on him to come in there and say, you know what, he's going to be the next middle linebacker. But an undrafted kid from Wisconsin, T.J. Edwards, has been the best defensive player in training camp because the way he commands the defense. Yes, we want N'Kobe Dean to take those rings, right? We do. But right now, T.J. Edwards got those rings, and that defensive line is going to be monstrous this year.
Yeah, I can't wait to see that. And you're right. TJ Edwards is the main reason N'Kobe Dean is down on the depth chart because he is not giving up his position without a fight, and he's holding on to it. And rightfully so. I mean, he's earned it, and I'm glad to see that he's doing the job he's doing. I want to see Nakobe Dean. He's been heralded coming out of Georgia and the such, but I want ultimately to see the best talent on the field. So if
Correct.
it's just not his time, hopefully he'll work his way into that position. But right now, I think we're in pretty good hands with T.J. Edwards. That's how I feel.
I do
All right.
so.
That's the end of the third quarter. We're going to continue to talk about this defense because I think it's a key also. We talk about Jalen Hurts, but there's a lot that is on the shoulders of Jonathan Gannon been handed. These new tools, these more athletic linebackers. He has a massive defensive line, a secondary consisting of shutdown corners, and the only defensive area that I can see a weakness is what who pointed it out here? Robin says, and they say on defense we only weak at safety. That's the weakest. I'm not going to say we are
I want
weak,
to talk
but
about
that's
that.
the weakest
I do want to talk
area.
about that. Yeah.
I don't think that we are weak. I just think that compared to the other position groups on defense, yeah, that's probably the weakest.
I do agree with that. It's just this they're not familiar with each other yet, so they haven't built that cohesion yet in that secondary. Like Bradbury's been out, because he got injured after the first preseason game, right? Slade just came back from injury. I think once they start building being familiar with each other and learning their different where you need to be, I think our secondary is going to be a strong point. So will our front seven.
All right. So let's end that quarter. That's the end of the third quarter.
And that's the end of the quarter.
All right, that's the end of the third quarter. You're watching and listening to Eagles Talk, the number one Eagles coverage show out there. That's on Facebook. That's by us fans, for us fans. So if you know anything about Eagles Talk, we like to talk about our favorite football team. We like to do that and have fun as we enjoy our favorite adult beverage in the form of shots. I have new glasses, so I can't do shots, according to
Hold up,
according
man.
to I can't do shots. That's what one I can't remember who said it, but somebody said that. They complimented me on the glasses and they said that's why I can't do shots. So I'm gonna run with it. All right, but anyway, Pat is doing the Jack Daniels. Let me know what you're doing out there. And this is the final quarter. We're going to keep it on the defense, talk about expectations of Jonathan Gannon and this unit this upcoming year. But first, let's do the shot. So everybody raise your glass to our Philadelphia Eagles and down the hatch. 3, 2, 1.
You're now listening to the fourth quarter.
All right, so in this fourth quarter, we're going to continue to talk on the defense. We know what we have with the offense. Well, actually, we don't know what we have because in losing that joint playoff practice yesterday, it was because their defense was really slowing down our offense. So we don't know everything about the offense. We know that they're not running full packages yet. They don't want to tip off everything that they have in store for the regular season. So hopefully that plays a part in it. But the defense also got beat a little bit yesterday too. So we saw the film of Tariq Hill.
Come on, man. Let's be honest.
Burning
Let's be
Darius
honest.
Slay.
Tariq Hill is going to burn anybody one-on-one. He's going to burn anybody that you put in front of him one-on-one. Now, I actually went back and looked at that tape. I sat there and I looked at it one by one, step by step in slow motion. He was actually in sync with Tariq.
Yeah, until they got tied.
His foot tripped on his actual foot. The ball was extremely underthrown. If he was staying upright, that could have been a pass breakup or an interception. That's all I got to say about that. But Tariq Hill is a different type of speed.
Yes, he is. So a lot is going to weigh on how Jonathan Gannon deploys this defense. We all agree that we're going to see a 3-4 and a lot of hybrid looks out of that 3-4, maybe a 5-2 at times. It's going to be a lot that he can do, and I'm kind of eager because I want to see what he does with these new toys. And I am praying, as all
Oh yeah.
Eagles fans are, that it's going to be a more aggressive style defense. We have not seen an aggressive Eagles defense in a long time, not since Jim Johnson. I don't think we've seen a defense where the opponents are afraid of them.
Yeah, I
We have
mean,
not had that type of defense in a long time. So I'm hoping that this is the year that we begin to see that again.
yeah, I mean, let's be honest. Like we're not going to face a 1-2 combination like we have this whole season, right? We're not going to face a 1-2 combination that's going to be comprised of a guy like an AJ Brown and a guy like a Devontae Smith with a slot receiver as a Quez Watkins. We're not going to see any team like that this year, right? So being as though that Miami has a Tyreek Hill who is speed, who has Waddle, who is speed and is still learning how to use his speed in this league. I mean, yes, in individual one-on-ones, they're going to beat us. I'll be honest with you. I was a corner. I knew what receiver could beat me straight down the field. I knew that from the get-go. You know, I did my best to impede his progress to get downfield. But if I didn't do that, I know I was beat. But at the end of the day, when you're scheming against these guys, it becomes a different story. One-on-ones is different than being a team game. All right. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
beat me on one-on-one all the time. But did you see the film where AJ Brown beat their best corner, Xavier Howard?
Right, right.
And so they're gloating on what Tyreek Hill did to Slay, but they're not gloating on what AJ Brown did to Howard. So it's a double-edged sword. You know, the thing about it is that I think we're going to be a much more depending team on our run, like you said earlier in this podcast,
Mm-hmm.
that we're gonna be more dependent on running the ball, but that's gonna open up opportunities not over in the middle of the field, but down the field. We have a receiver that once he gets the ball in his hands, he turns into a running back. But we also have two receivers that are burners. It's gonna
Mm-hmm.
open up so many different possibilities. If I was the offense coordinator, man, I wouldn't sleep at night.
Well, I don't think he is sleeping at night, but we're going to need some help from the defense. So come on, help us out here, Jonathan, JG, whatever you want to call him, and give us and help our offense out. You can help out Jalen a lot by unleashing the hounds upon the rest of the NFL this year, letting this massive defensive line and these athletic linebackers get at this quarterback. And now we have the secondary, I think, that can hold them. Yeah, I mean, that probably a lot of hurries last year, and just another second or two could have turned into sacks. Well, now we have the speed now, and we have the shutdown corners or the cover corners to play in more aggressive style up front. I think that they can cover for the amount of time that this defensive line is going to need to get to the quarterback. So let's see some more exotic blitzes. Let's see some schemes where we send the pressure and trust our secondary to cover the receivers here. Come on, I need turnovers. I need sacks. I want to see all that. I don't want to see 8 yards off the receiver anymore.
Oh no.
I don't want to see it.
Nah,
I'm sorry.
I
You
don't
guys
do
let me know about. Am I tripping? I mean, what do you want to see out of this defense? What will impress you from this defense this year? What category do you want to see them improve in this
turnovers.
upcoming season?
Turnovers. Like listen, sacks are good. Sacks are great. But if you can't turn the ball over, I mean, I could sack the quarterback for a 7-yard loss. But if you can make it 17-yard completion because I can't turn the ball over, is null and void. I can have 50 sacks in a season and still have a losing record. So I need turnovers. You're successful when you have these turnovers. Turn the ball over, give your offense an opportunity to win the game. It's this thing out there, Dante. Defense wins championships. That is the truest statement ever. Regardless of how prolific our offense may be, defense wins championships. There are countless numbers of championships that are Super Bowls that are won and championships that are won where you can go back and look how prolific that offense may have been during the season. But in that particular game, that defense stepped up and won that game.
What defense? I'm sorry. What defense? The Super Bowl year?
I go back to the Giants. I hate to do the Giants.
Oh, the Giants. Yeah.
But you remember the Patriots is undefeated.
Right. You're right.
They were blowing cats out by like 40 points.
Yeah, you're right.
What happened?
A good defense.
Slowed their ass down, and they lost the damn Super Bowl. You don't remember that team no more. They don't put that team in the undefeated category because they lost the Super Bowl.
Yeah, they did. Miles says, let me go to your comments out there. Toby says, well, Miles, I got his comment up there. Says, send pressure all the time on D. I would love to see that. That's some Madden type stuff. Just send a blitz every down.
Send 9 players.
Yeah. Richard Booth says more blitzing. That's what he wants to see.
More exotic blitzing, not just blitzing. Blitzing at the right time, too.
Jeremiah says, are we talking wide 9? I know we're not talking wide 9. No, we are not talking wide 9. I don't want to see that crap anymore. I saw enough of that. I don't want to see that anymore. Baltimore D, won a championship too. Yeah, they did. So, defense can be a key, especially, when we are not hitting on all cylinders on offense. The defense can jumpstart the offense by, like what you said, turnovers. Turnovers can definitely change the momentum of the game, give your offense a shorter field, and it's all about field position, right? That brings me to another point. Our special teams have to step up too because we didn't get much from them last year either. So those two things can really help out our offense and our scoring offense, and we didn't do bad last year. We were up, and I think we were in the top half in the scoring offense. It was just that defense, although, again, it was the top 10 defense according to numbers. But when you look at it through the eye test, it didn't feel like it. And I wanted to feel like a more dominant. I wanted to look like a more dominant defense in coming up this upcoming season here.
I just want to see a lineup like this. I'll be honest with you. I want to see our front four, Fletcher Cox, Jordan, Brandon Graham. I hate to put Sweat in there. It's Josh Sweat. Linebackers, Hassan Reddick coming off the end. You got Kazera White. You got TJ Edwards. You got Bradbury. You got Slay. You got your safeties. Whoever's going to be the safeties. I can't tell you who's going to be the safeties. I'll be honest with you. They have been on the same par level since I've seen them play. So whoever the safeties is selling out there. That right there, I mean, unless we got a competent safety out there, I think we will be a fair defensive line. Like Fletcher Cox, Jordan Hargrave, and Jordan Davis.
Yeah, I can't wait to see these guys. We can play
a 5-2 all game.
I know, for real. I'm trying to.
I'm sorry, a 5-2. Let me let you know something, Dante. A 5-2 is actually a reverse 3-4. Because you could reverse it because you got 3 down linemen. You just put 2 guys on the outside. So like a 5-2. So you can reverse it back and forth. So
and I want to see that. Mm-hmm. But I'm tempering my excitement because I have been, for the past few years, I have been highly anticipating seeing our defensive line dominate, and I haven't seen it. So again, this year we look great on paper again along the defensive line. So, but I'm going to temper my enthusiasm until I actually see it and see it happen on the field, because they have not produced to the level that I think that they should be producing with the talent that we have on the defensive line. You talk about a Fletcher Cox. I know he's declining, but we talk about Fletcher Cox, probably one of the greatest defensive tackles we've had on the Eagles in Eagles history. Yeah. We talk about Hargrave, who came out the box very fast last year. He's very talented. Yeah, very talented D tackle there. And now we have the young guy, Jordan Davis, a monstrosity of a nose tackle there, and athletic. And along with Milt Williams, we have backup D linemen that are have potential. Let's put it that way. So I want to see them dominate. I haven't seen it in the past few years, and I'm going to wait until I see it to get overly excited. But, yo, that's the end of the fourth quarter, man. Dad, time does fly when you're having fun and you're talking about something that you love to talk about.
Hey, Dante, you was on that show for like 2 hours of it. Was it 3 weeks ago?
Oh, yeah, that was a long show. But, I was
having fun, though.
Yeah, it was fun. It was very fun. When you're talking about the Philadelphia Eagles, not only with you, Pat, I enjoyed talking about them with you and Michelle, and then we had the opportunity to talk about it with more rabid Eagles fans doing their podcast. So it was just like a whole crowd of us just talking about what we like to talk about the most, and that's our Philadelphia Eagles. But we're out of time tonight, man. I want everybody to enjoy the game as much as you can on Saturday night, knowing that that's the last time we'll see that team until we take on the Detroit Lions, the opening of the NFL week. So, guys, come back next week, 7 o'clock. We'll talk about what we saw on Saturday and what we didn't see on Saturday and all things Eagles. Don't miss us. I'm your man, Dante the Dark Knight. For my co-host with the co-most, Pat, and my co-host in her absence, happy belated birthday, Nichelle. Enjoy. She's down the beach house. She said she just woke up. She's still celebrating her birthday. All right, but hopefully she'll be back next week, guys. Yo, we'll see you guys next week. I'm out. I'm your man. Peace.